With Ferdi Kadioglu's Premier League move to Brighton confirmed, I wanted to get the opinion of a fan that has watched him go from a struggling 18-year-old signed from the Eredivisie as a number 10 to one of the best fullbacks in world football at 24 years old. But most importantly, answer the question for Brighton fans: where does he fit and what makes him so special? Hope you enjoy the video. Today, I have a Fenerbahce resident expert in the form of Ilkay, and we're going to be talking about Ferdi Kadioglu and his move to Brighton in the Premier League. Ilkay, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show, mate.
No, I appreciate it. You out of the blue, I had a Discord message saying that, if you ever want to do a Ferdi video, because all the hype and stuff around his transfer to Brighton, and who better to have on than a lifelong Fenerbahce fan that's watched Ferdi go from a struggling number 10 to one of the best promising left backs in the world, right?
Absolutely, it's been a really beautiful journey to be honest, man. Because Ferdi is a top player, and as you mentioned, definitely one of the best left backs in Europe at the moment. Especially at Euros with Turkey national team, he impressed many football fans all over the world, and he did really amazing at the tournament. So it was really interesting to see him doing that much well. I'm very happy and proud of him. And I have no doubt that he will keep going like this because he is a really good professional footballer and he likes to work hard. I'm pretty much sure he will always improve himself no matter what. And you cannot say Ferdi dropping his performance down. It doesn't happen. If you ask the whole Fenerbahce fans community, everyone will say that Ferdi is always good. You cannot say anyone more than that. Oh, Ferdi was bad that match. Because his standard is so high. So I'm very impressed and I'm very happy to see him at that level.
Do you think he just has like an elite mentality? Is that what you've seen, like growing up from, becoming an 18-year-old kid from the Eredivisie to becoming, like we said, one of the best left backs in world football potentially? Like, is it a mindset thing for you from what you've watched?
100%. Elite mentality, because I remember his first days at Fenerbahce and he was struggling as an 18-year-old. He was a teenager at the time and he came to Turkish league from a Dutch team in NAC Nijmegen. At the time, if you go to Fenerbahce as a teenager, and there's a very tough competition if you want to be a starter, because you will see top players and they are fighting for the shirt. So you have to work hard, and especially in Ferdi's first 2 seasons, he was not really getting the chance he wanted to have at Fenerbahce, and he had really problems. Like he was sent to the youth team under 21, to play, and then he has an elite mentality. He has a very strong mentality because he didn't give up. He had a problem with the manager, so he was not really getting any chance. So he wanted to play. I understand that he wanted to show everyone that he has the potential to become a top player. But as a number 10, if you look at Fenerbahce's history, number 10s were like top players who left a big legacy. So, and it didn't work well for him as a number 10. And of course, some games he played as a right winger or left winger. And then at 2021, in 2022 season, if I'm not wrong, when we had Vitor Pereira as our new coach, the Portuguese coach, and he decided to do something different with Ferdi. So he had a talk with him, so he asked him to play as a left winger back with a 3 defensive system. And I think he had a very good touch at Ferdi. But the thing is that I'm very impressed with Ferdi Kadioglu is that his mentality is super good, because if you look at he's a teenager, so when you're a teenager, your mentality is not really, you have to fight, you have to stay strong if you want to show the world that you got it. So he worked hard and he didn't give up. And I remember like how he was struggling, but now you can see where he is at. So you can, even looking at this, you can understand that he has a very good mentality and the mindset is very good.
Yeah, we can pop it on screen now, but this is the 2021 season. So yeah, as you can see, he mainly played as a right back that season, it seems like, but only started 6 games. But then you jump over to 21-22, you can see a lot more on the left side. Still a little bit on the right side as well. Started 26 out of 28. So this was probably his first full season, right, at men's football. This was technically 3 seasons ago now.
If you look at the map, you think that this guy's crazy.
How is he playing both at the same time?
He's been all over the pitch. He probably, it seems like he didn't stop running. He kept running all the time.
Yeah. I think athletically, you can't really doubt how quick he is and how fit he is. Do you think
Yeah.
Like, was there a gap at left back and right back for him to actually fall back there? Like, was there a weakness in the Fenerbahce side at that point for him to turn into a left back, right back, or was there, or did he, or was it like his choice to go back to a defender?
I think we didn't have a really top left back or right back at that time when Ferdi started playing as a left back or like as a right back.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that probably, as I said, Vitor Pereira, he actually had a chat with Ferdi. Ferdi is, normally he's an attacking player, so you can imagine how it will be difficult for him to play as having a defender role. So it's not easy. With this coach, as a left wing back, he started playing with the two defensives in because we were playing at 3-5-2. So Ferdi was on the left side, and we also have a Bright Osai Samuel, who was also a right attacking midfielder, right winger. But and Vitor Pereira also chose him and played him as a right back. So that was a touch from a manager, and it's really worked out really well for both Ferdi manager and also Bright as well. With that coach, Ferdi improved a lot. How well he did that season.
If anyone watched the Euros, they'll know exactly how much this guy can run. And being that fit, being that intense, you have to be like that in the Premier League. Like you'll just get eaten up. We know it's arguably the best league in the world. And one of the reasons for that is because of the fitness levels, because of the athletic abilities of the players in that league. And Ferdi, one of his standout sort of attributes is, how fit he is, how quick he is, and how his determination. He just doesn't stop. Like, he literally does not stop running for what we've seen in the Euros for Turkey and, domestically as well. I guess that kind of leads us on to then, what is he going to look like for Brighton? I mean, we spoke before about the strength that the Brighton do have already in the full back positions. They've got, Veltman, who can play, right wing back, right centre back. Lamptey, you can play right wing back, right back, and then you've got Valentin Barco and Estupiñán, who are all relatively good wing backs slash full backs. They're not. I mean, they're not going to be terrible. They're Premier League players, right? But the fact that Brighton won 30 so much, it kind of shows me that there's definitely something missing. Yeah, the new manager Herzler, that was at St. Pauli last year, got them promoted to the Bundesliga. I've seen him tinker. Brighton fans have saw him tinker with 3 at the back during preseason and 4 at the back. At St. Pauli, he had like a 3/5, so he likes wing backs. He does like width, which is interesting because Ferdi kind of offers you width, but the width ends up coming inside, right? Like if he does end up playing left wing back, let's say, he, like you said, his dribbling, being a right footer, is going to lead him inside. Like he's not going to be taking defenders on the outside as much as he will on the inside. I'm not saying he can't do it, but his strength is coming inside and kind of finding the balls into the box that way on his right foot, right? That's fine. That's kind of what I've seen during the Euros. I don't know whether that was different at Fenerbahce, and you could definitely speak more on that for sure.
Yeah, it was almost the same with Fenerbahce, but especially in the last season when he was playing with Dusan Tadic on the left side, it was a very unstoppable duo. They were too good together because when you are showing me that those Brighton players, and they're all really good players, but what I can say is that I'm looking at those guys and I watch Premier League, so I enjoy the league. The only difference between all those players, they're all good, but the difference is Ferdi is I think better when it comes to technique. He's technically a very good player, and we all know how good he is when it comes to dribbling.
Yeah.
So imagine him using his dribbling and also technical vision at the same time. So that could make a huge difference in the team, because one pass while dribbling, and here you got an assist. Because Ferdi used to do this a lot at Fenerbahce, and this is what makes him very top left back or right back. It doesn't matter. He's whenever he can play everywhere on the pitch except being a goalie and I think center back and forwards. So you can use this guy everywhere. I think this is what makes Ferdi special compared to the other lads. They are all good. They are also top players. But when I'm looking at the picture, I think I'm not saying as a Fenerbahce fan, but
no, of course.
I think I would choose Ferdi instead of all of these guys. I know they all are good, but maybe as a right back.
Yeah, because say if they go with Estupiñán or Barco maybe as the left wing back, for example. Ferdi for me is better than Lamptey, and he is better than Veltman in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And I think most people would agree. They wouldn't be spending 32 million on him if he wasn't better than at least a couple of these players. So do you think he could have the same impact on the right side as if he could on the left for Brighton?
I would play him as a left back, but when I'm looking at the picture, when you see like Barca and Estepinian on the left side, comparing to the right side of like Veltman and Lamptey, so I would actually play Ferdi as a right back, or right wing back because he's
Right.
right-footed.
Yeah.
So his
Of course.
his crossing is better when he plays as a right back.
Mhm.
But when he plays as a left back, and then he can dribbling inside, and he can even
Exactly.
shoot. He can make a crazy like dangerous pass. But
Mhm.
also as a left back, he did very well at Fenerbahce. As I said before, I don't remember Ferdi having a really bad game at Fenerbahce, never, because his standard is so high. You get really used to it when you watch Ferdi play every time. You get really used to it. Like, this guy is always good.
It seems like on the surface of things, he's going to fit in better as a right back, just so you can still play Estupiñán or Barco, right? But the issue with this is, and I don't know exactly if Herzler wants one of his fullbacks to invert, but in this scenario, you've got left back, left-footed players playing left wing back, and you've got Ferdi as on the right side. So nobody's really inverting on their coming inside. They would be coming inside on their weaker foot. Now, a little interesting one, and we've seen teams do it before, where they invert, swap their fullbacks around, and they go, okay, we'll play, our naturally left-footed wing back on the right side, so he can come inside and kind of build up play and progress up the field. In a weird world, actually, I actually don't mind seeing Ferdi on the left here and one of Barco or Estupiñán on the right. From a Brighton perspective,
it depends on the game you're playing,
of course,
like the team you're playing against. So you can choose, you can change the tactic, like play Ferdi as a left back and try Barco or Estepinian as a right back or right wing back. This is the advantage of having a player that can play everywhere on the pitch. So if you're struggling, if you're having a problem, let's say at Brighton your midfielders get injured, number 10 or number 8 or right winger, you have Ferdi to play there.
he could do
You could
anything.
start. You could start Veltman or Lamptey as a right back, let's say, and
Exactly.
Ferdi as a number 8 or number 10 or right winger or left winger. Everybody can play, and you wouldn't say that, oh, this guy is not good as a number 8, because at the Dutch youth team he used to
Yeah.
play youth ace. He was playing as an number 8 as well, as a center midfielder. So with Gakpo and Delete or some other Dutch young lads. So, and I remember him also playing as a number 8 in some games.
I saw the pictures during the Euros. They, when Turkey, you guys played the Netherlands, and there was all the pictures going around of Ferdi playing in the youth teams, of course, of the Dutch national teams, and you had your Gakpos and, like you said, some of the other big Netherlands players that were playing in the game. So he was playing against players, of course, that he knows very well. He grew up during the international stage with. If you're paying £35 million for a player these days, they're going to be able to play a magnitude of different positions, because that is just how the game has gone. It demands more out of you. You have to be versatile. Like, you can't just play one position these days. You have to be able to play left back, right back, centre mid, 8. That is where the game's going. The game is so fluid now. I think the way Pep has sort of orchestrated football, and everyone seems to follow suit, right? They all play this, 3 centre backs, which allows you to have, 7 attacking players effectively, in the opposition's half if you're in possession. And if it does break down, well, you have 3 centre backs. They should be able to defend, right? That's why they get paid money.
Yeah.
You get paid to defend.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was, sometimes a lot of these wing backs couldn't really defend, and that was some of the downfalls of these systems breaking down. Somebody like Ferdi, he's so unique. I think coming to Brighton and the Premier League, there's not really a profile like him, is there? I can't name many players that a right-footed predominantly, of course, play on the left as good as he does. You could argue Kieran Trippier does it for England quite well, but for Newcastle, he plays as a right back majority of the time, and I think he would continue to do that. But if we're talking Premier League, I can't think of many profiles like him, if I'm being honest, and that's obviously why Brighton are paying big money for him.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, he's a very versatile player. In today's football, imagine having a guy who can play like 6 or 7 different positions on a team. So this is very unique, as you said. I think, more like when you look at Bayern Munich, they have like Kimi, and as you said, Trippier as well, who can play as a left back too. the English national team. Comparing to those guys, of course, top players, different levels, and I believe Ferdi's on that way. So Brighton must be feeling very lucky with that one, and that's why I think they've been pushing this deal a lot. They've got definitely a gem.
We'll end on this question, and you kind of just alluded to it there, where you think he will get to the top. What is his ceiling? Is it a Real Madrid Barcelona move? Because we could argue all day about Real Madrid's defense, and there's critics on
Yeah.
Mendy might not be up to it if we're comparing him to some of the other left backs in world football. I think he had a good season last year, but regardless, like, do you see Ferdi being signed for £80 million in 2 or 3 years to Real Madrid? Like, do you foresee that happening?
Yeah, I was expecting to go to like that much level when he was playing for Fenerbahce. As you mentioned as well, I've been watching his journey, and every time I watch it, I get impressed a lot. I will say, this is my guy. This is the top player. I'm pretty much sure he will see that level, Real Madrid or Barcelona. I have zero doubt on him, and I believe in him. He will do very well in the Premier League, and he has that potential to play at the top level. So maybe, as you said, maybe in a few years we will see him playing for a top team like Real Madrid or Barcelona. And his mate, one of his best mates, plays for Real Madrid, Arda Güler from Fenerbahce. They were very close. They are still close, of course. So maybe we will see them linking up again. So it will be very emotional for Fenerbahce fans to watch them together again.
Yeah, I think Ferdi. I think we could maybe predict the Ferdi Arda Güler link up maybe in a couple of years. That would be something for Turkish Turkish people.
Yeah, it will be very beautiful, and it makes you be proud. Those players, play for your team and now playing for for Real Madrid. As I said, I was expecting Brighton is of course a good team. I was expecting Ferdi to at least make a maybe move to Arsenal or something, because he was also linked with Arsenal and Man United. But I think also Fenerbahce, like it was about the financial. I think maybe they didn't offer the money Brighton was offering.
Somebody like Ferdi would want us play football straight away. Like, he's 24. Like, he wants to play week in, week out, I think. And I'm going to assume Brighton are going to offer him that type of game time, where maybe a United or an Arsenal might not be able to offer him the exact amount of games that he would like, because you have to play games of football. 24 years old, and moving into the peak of his career, at this stage. Massive move. Like, you want to play football. Like, you can't sit on the bench. He's already done that when he was 18, 19. He's earned the right now to be a legit starter. And his skills have got him a Premier League move. So you just got to be proud of it, really.
So in Brighton, of course, I believe he will play as much as he can. And this is the type of player that who doesn't get injured often. He has a very good energy. Comparing to his energy, I compare him to Dirk Kuyt from Liverpool.
Yeah,
he also played for Fenerbahce. They have the same energy. I think he's also Dutch to Dirk Kuyt. I'm impressed. He doesn't get tired. If you watch the Euros, and if you watch that which game it was, Austria, I guess it was against Austria.
I think it was Austria. The crazy save.
When he had the dribbling, it was fantastic. I thought he was gonna get injured. Maybe he was like risking it. He's a fighter. He doesn't give up. He fights for his team, and this is what it also makes him very unique. Special player.
He's got world-class potential, and we've seen it at the Euros. We've seen it for Fenerbahce, and now we're going to see it in the Premier League. So, I'm excited. Thank you so much, Ilkay, for joining me, mate. And let's watch this Ferdi journey together.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a big pleasure, and I have no doubt, as I said before, I'm very proud of him, and I will watch him. I will watch him in the Premier League, and I will be very proud. I have zero doubt he will make it to top. So it will be good. It will be very good. I'm pretty much sure.